This is Russell Burlingame with Comic Related. I'm here with Neal Adams, penciler, Continuity Studios executive, and all-around industry legend at the Continuity.
Penciler and executive? Wow, what a title!
Well, we're here at the Continuity Studios booth. Why don't we start by having you tell us what exactly are you doing here at Continuity these days?
What are we doing at Continuity? Well, we're doing a lot of things because we have a multi-talented studio. We do CGI animation. We do green screen, we do motion capture. You know what motion capture is? You put dots on people and you film them. We do what are called animatics for advertising agencies. We do storyboards, comps, finished illustrations, cartoons, even comic books. When I don't want to make a decent living, I do comic books. Not that comic books are paying badly these days, it's just that they don't quite keep up with the economy. And I don't think Mr. Bush is helping us do that, so we're lagging behind in the comic book business a little bit. But I do comic books besides all the rest of it.
Right. Now, last time I talked to you, which you probably wouldn't remember because it was 9 years ago, you were actually working on a graphic novel about two guys talking in a bar about God.
Well, not God. It was a conversation between two guys in a bar or a new model of the universe. And it was a science project. And what we've done since then is that we've gotten a portion of the video portion of that onto YouTube. And so far we've got about 900,000 people who visited that site. We also have some other videos from that group of videos on other parts of YouTube. So I would say we have about 1 million visits so far. What's happened is that the theory that I discussed is essentially being discussed in classrooms around the country and around the world, to the chagrin, I think, of the professors who think I'm crazy. But you know what happens with a new theory? It goes through stages. The first stage is ignoring it. The second stage is calling it stupid. Third stage is arguing with it. Fourth stage is then discussing it. Fifth stage can actually be accepting it. We're looking for the fifth stage, and we're going through the first and second stage now. So the point of all this is that had I published that book, which I still have sitting there, I could get maybe 10,000 comic book fans reading it. Now we've got the theory presented 900,000 times on YouTube. So since I'm a creature of media, I have to say I would prefer those 900,000 visits, because those 900,000 visits are soon going to be 1 million, and then they're going to be 2 million, and then they're going to be 3. Now that may not be chicken farts or Oriental breast massage, but it's science, and 900,000 visits have happened. So you have to take it seriously. So if I were to say to you, my responsibility is to get this theory out there, I would say I'm fulfilling that responsibility. The book will still come out, but it will come out in the midst of all this happening, and there's a lot of it happening.
Could you give us kind of in a nutshell what the theory is, or is it something we really just have to check out online?
My goodness. I'll give it to you in a nutshell, and you can edit out whatever you want. 40 years ago, the geological community came to the conclusion that that South America and Africa fit together, and because of that, the theory that was presented first by Alfred Wegener, which said that the continents drifted apart, called the continental drift theory, implied that perhaps all the continents on Earth across the Atlantic were all together in one giant island on one side of the Earth. And it sort of was proved that that was in fact the case, that all the continents were together on one big giant island, because they found that plants were the same from continent to continent, dinosaurs were the same from continent to continent. So the theory was proved. A guy by the name of Samuel Warren Carey said, wait a second, aren't we copping out on this whole thing? Why are we just looking at the Atlantic? Why don't we look at the Pacific? Because it looks to me like all the continents joined in the Pacific too. The other geologist said, whoa, hold on. If they joined in the Pacific and they joined in the Atlantic, that would mean that the Earth would have to be smaller 200 million years ago. And Sam Carey said, yeah, that's right.